Welcome to Contemporary Mathematics. Today we're going to be discussing the topic of rounding off numbers. Now that most of our computations are done on calculators, students quickly ask the question, where should I round off my answer? We will answer that question today. But before we begin talking about how to round off, let's consider place value. Let's first consider the number 127,538 and 4,096 ten-thousandths. Starting with the decimal and moving to the left, we see that the 8 is in the ones place, the 3 is in the tens place, and the 5 is resting in the hundreds place. The 7 is in the thousands place, the 2 is in the ten-thousands place, and the 1 is in the hundred thousands place. Now back to the decimal and going to the right, we see that the 4 is resting in the tenths place, the 0 in the hundredths place, the 9 in the thousandths place, and the 6 in the ten-thousandths place. Now, let's take that number and do some rounding off. Suppose your instructions said round to the nearest tenth. The first thing we would need to do would be to locate the tenths place. And I see that the tenth place contains the digit 4. Now I'm going to look to the right of the 4. If the digit is 5 or greater, I would round up, but 0 is not 5 or greater, so I do not round up. The number is 127,538.4. That's rounded to the nearest tenth. Now let's round to the nearest hundredth. Locate the hundredths place, and I see the digit 0 is sitting there. Look to the right of the 0 and I see a 9. Since the 9 is greater than or equal to 5, I'm going to round up. I must add 1 to the hundredths place. That would give me the number 127,538.41. That's rounded to the nearest hundredth. Now let's round to the nearest thousandths place. Locate the thousandths place, and I see the digit 9 is sitting in the thousandths place. To the right of the 9 is 6, and that happens to be 5 or greater, so we need to round up. But when we add 1 to 9, notice that it goes to 10, so we'll have to place a 0 there and then a 1 in the hundredths place. So this number rounds to 127,538.410. That's rounded to the nearest thousandths. Now, what if we round to the nearest whole number? The place for the whole number is the ones place. So I look at my original number and I see an 8 is sitting in the whole numbers place. To the right of the 8 is a 4. That's less than 5, so I will not round up. The number rounded to the nearest whole number is 127,538. Now let's do one more. Let's round to the nearest thousand. I see the digit 7 is sitting in the thousands place. If I look to the right of the 7, I see the number 5. That is 5 or greater, so I will round up and make the 7 an 8. So the number is 128,000. Notice that I had to fill zeros in for these places to the right of the thousands place because I needed the placeholders. If I didn't, it would just be the number 128.